You know what? Okay, there we go. All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Q&A live stream number 174. Yes, I know this is officially 174. It is approximately 9:43 p.m. right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. Today is Thursday, August 13th. Thursday, August 12th, 2021. And so again, we're going to wait for a couple more people to join the live stream. I'm pretty good. It's the G-Man. Thank you for asking. Specifically speaking, rather. Yeah, so. So. Oh, okay. Hi, Brandon Smith. How are you? Uh, I'm pretty good, Candace Williams. How are you? So, pretty good, Scorch. How are you? Okay. Um, so yeah, Saks works. I don't really think that has a good ring to it. Saks works in the former Lord and Taylor stores. I just I don't know personally. But yeah, so no Sears closures at the moment. Just right now, Raleigh, which is it's interesting that the liquidation company has not put up any like advertisement regarding the actual physical location, which to me is very interesting that they would do that. This fixture removal. So yeah, nothing at the moment. But I think Raleigh is going to be added soon to SB360's list. Interesting. They're waiting this long to post the story, which to me is interesting, especially considering they posted on jobs.sears.com that the physical location was closing. So it's just very interesting, and obviously nothing new from Hilco. Still the same stuff. So, but nothing really like crazy closures right now, like store closing wise, which I guess is a good thing. So yeah, I still think that whole thing with the Lord and Taylor, the York factory, it's just weird. It's honestly just a very weird choice, in my opinion. I mean, I don't like the name Saks Works and York Factory, like for the Lord and Taylor spots. Like, I think it's just going to be, I don't know. I mean, and with the Delta variant now going around, is that really what's going to make all these Lord and Taylor spots come back to life? You know, it's unfortunately, there's a lot of variables that come along with this new thing. With the new concept that they want to do in the Lord and Taylor spots. It's sad, but the main issue is Lord and Taylor was already struggling before COVID. So, and I mean, even 2019, like right before crap hit the fan with COVID, 5 Lord and Taylor locations were already on the chopping block, on the verge and on the chopping block of closing, and same thing with 2018. So Lord and Taylor was already in the red before the pandemic. Century was definitely a shocker. I mean, I remember. Well, no, Lord and Taylor. I had a friend who told me that all of them are going out of business, and literally that morning on Thursday, on the 27th of August at around 10 a.m., I saw Lord and Taylor and going out of business. Literally, that's exactly what popped up on my screen, and it was 20 to 40% off, and the whole chain was going under completely. Uh, So, and then September 10th, one of my subscribers commented, I think one of my when somebody commented, or I think he's definitely a subscriber. But he commented and said, I heard Century 21 was closing all their stores. So, I mean, sometimes people are right. I'm not going to say everybody's right or wrong. I go on, I Google it. I Google it because everybody Googles it. And then I saw 10 a.m. Um, what's it called? And then it said, yeah, Century 21 was shutting down. Unfortunate too. So I'm pretty good. Hey Joe, how are you? Hi Tiger Boy PR, how are you? Um, so yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree. The Lord and Taylor's at Westfield, Garden State Plaza, Freehold Raceway, along Bridgewater would have survived if it was, and downtown Westfield, like the 19 that were supposed to remain, all of those would have survived. But the pandemic it was just too much for Latote to survive. Hello, Jeremy's Retail Exploration. How are you? Hello, Dalmay Productions, Sears Productions. How are you? Cuomo is out. Yes, he's resigning in what is it, 12 days now, and Kathy Hochul is taking over. She's right now the lieutenant governor who is expected to become governor, and now apparently she wants to run for a full term. Let's see how that works out. But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff that he did, and because of YouTube's guidelines, I'm not going to explain what he did. It was lots of terrible stuff to women, but due to the YouTube community guidelines, this will be not the place to discuss some of those actions. So I will leave it at that. The bottom line is he's resigning in 12 days, and Kathy Hochul will become the 57th governor of New York State. And it'll be a nice, minty, fresh breath of air, especially to the state of New York. It's something that has been needed for a long time, and I'm glad that the people in the assembly are talking about term limits. Term limits work. Term limits work, especially in New York State. So I think they absolutely need to implement them for the governor. In my opinion, they did it in New Jersey and it works pretty well. So that's the way I feel. Some of and there's other things too that he's done that are just awful, and I'd rather not really explain. But I want to get back to other things that people are what's it called that people are discussing in the chat. Hey Chris, you saw what you yes, I saw the floor plan from the Sterling organization. It's going, yep, it's interesting. It's going to be an Amazon Fresh next to an Aldi. Yeah. Well, you know what? There's enough people that love Amazon so much they'll go there. That could be troubling for Aldi too, especially since it's going to be right freaking next door. So I don't know personally. Personally, at this point, for Sears and Kmart closures, it's really just when the building is sold, the store must go. Fort Lauderdale was supposed to close, but I don't know what the hell happened with the liquidators. The liquidators showed up at the store, but then they never showed up. They never went back. And Raleigh's closing too. Well, yeah, Raleigh is closing officially now. I mean, there's literally job postings that the location's closing unless they were taken down. Um, Oh media. Yeah, it's funny. The Sears at Granite Run in Media, Pennsylvania, is closing in 3 days. Yeah, no, I mean, if it was 20 minutes away from me and I didn't have to take 4 different trains there, I probably would have done it in early June. There was no reason for me to do that store whatsoever. Bridgehampton was rumored only because they had seasonal job postings. Marshall, I think, might be the next one to go, only because they're liquidating the Sears in Westland, Michigan, and Avondale, New Jersey Kmart has been downsized significantly, so I don't see that store lasting for much longer. Another 50. Oh boy. Oh boy. Gotta put some headphones on for a second. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to throw on my headphones real quick. They'll be coming off pretty close. They'll be coming off in probably the next 5 minutes or so. Panera Bread built next to an Aldi. Yeah, Panera Breads are pretty popular, so it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Is a quick run through because I know they've downsized the store significantly. But yeah, I mean, kill two birds with one stone. See both media and Granite. I'm sorry, not Granite Run. Because it's literally the same crap. Media and Willow Grove. I don't think so. That mall cannot lose another anchor. It's bad enough the mall lost to Nordstrom. The Freehold Raceway Mall cannot afford to lose another anchor right now. That's how dire the situation is at Freehold Raceway Mall. Sears, I get. Sears is just they're a joke at this point. Sears is a big fat joke. Losing the Nordstrom at Freehold Raceway Mall, that was a massive blow to the mall, massive, and that was only because of their New York City store. Yeah, I get it. Nordstrom wanted a New York City store, but the consequence of that is the Freehold store goes, and so does 252 jobs. Lord and Taylor, it was kind of another obvious, but only because yeah, their stores were dying for many years, and it didn't surprise me that they would shut down. But it was a pandemic that it was finally the nail in the coffin. Century was very surprising. I used to get a lot of good deals in Century 21, and okay, I mean, I might just be saying that because of Bergen Town Center, but overall, it was a pretty good store, and it will certainly be missed. I actually got a New York Yankees water bottle in there for 15 cents. I literally, it was the funniest thing. I literally had my wallet and I had 15 cents. Uh, I had 15 cents with me, and I bought the water bottle. I mean, you're never going to get another deal like that. It was a once in a, and it was a good memorabilia because now I officially have a receipt copy from that location, which is no more now. That space is actually up for lease. I wish I had the video, but you have to physically go there and scan the QR code. But they do have a video going over the space, which is pretty cool. You're doing homework all that you're back in school already. Yeah, I know. Some schools start early. Mine starts next month. I know. Only there are a couple more weeks. Yeah, some schools start earlier than others. I believe I start like right before Labor Day. So soon enough I'll be back to school. That's just the way things are. So, oof. Yeah, I go back. My fall semester starts the first, which means I start in about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So you start the ninth. Oh, 19th of August. So that's like less than that's like in about a week. September 1st. Yeah, I start the first too. So I know some New York City schools are pushing for the 13th, I guess with COVID and stuff. So I know a lot of cities are mandating you start August 23rd. Yeah, some of those schools in the South start around that time. That makes sense. Short Pump Town Center. I don't think so. Not Short Pump Town Center. That's permanently closed. Yeah, I'm sorry to Bust your bubble, burst your bubble, Brandon. But yeah, that Nordstrom is gone at the Short Pump Town Center. Useless knowledge. Yep, that's what you get with public education. Useless knowledge in public education. Yep, it's exactly what public education is. Useless knowledge. Such a good way to sum it up too. Sad but true. That's all I have to say. Useless knowledge. Brought to you by the Public Education Department of the United States. Sums it up pretty much. But anyways, moving on to moving on from that. That actually made my day. I have one online class this year. Me, I have most of my classes are online except for one, which actually I'm actually going to double check that right now. Um, Let me see. Say about 80% of my classes are remote in the fall. One of them is actually supposed to be meeting in person. Yeah, only one, but the rest of them are basically online. Yeah, 3 of them are online and one of them's in person. One of them's a hybrid, but, I mean, all my spring was online, and all of fall was online because, I mean, we didn't have a vaccine yet, so makes sense. Thanks. Yeah, see, I wish there was a way I could pin that, but the only way you can pin comments on YouTube is if you have to, yeah, so it's okay. I took both that psychology and sociology. Sociology I liked a lot more. That was a fun class. And sociology, it's funny you bring that up because sociology, half of that was in person, and then literally the rest of it was remote because that was right when COVID was literally hitting the fan, as you guys can see right up here. Literally hitting the fan. I know. Man, I'm on a roll tonight with references. Um, but anyways, micro hardware and are you a computer science major? Because that's what I tried for, and let's just say it didn't work out for me. Something with physics. I was a marketing major. Yeah, I am a business administration major. Michigan? No, I've never been to Michigan. Hello, elevators of Steel City. Any new information on Kmart and Sears? No, just that the Raleigh store is expected to be shutting down. I believe Westland and Media, Pennsylvania are both closing the 15th, and the Freedom and South Lake Tahoe Kmarts are both closing the 22nd. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good field to get into because there is a huge demand for computers. So that's definitely. And here's a tip of advice. If you are in that field, definitely go for your master's. Bachelor's is still good, don't get me wrong, but my advice is definitely go for a master's because master's in computer science, you'll be making a lot more money than you would with a bachelor's. Have you ever been to Pennsylvania other than Hershey? Dorney Park, which is in that Allentown area of the Lehigh Valley Mall. I have never been to Philadelphia, and I know because Philadelphia is like an hour from here. And I haven't been any more west than Harrisburg. Oh, you're an undergraduate? So am I. I have not graduated college yet. Do you think Uniqlo regrets relocating to Paramus Park instead of an area with higher foot traffic? Not really, because I mean, think about it. Uniqlo has a stored American dream, so I don't think Uniqlo regrets it. I think Uniqlo did the relocation because the rent was very high at the time at Westfield Garden State Plaza. I don't see Uniqlo coming back to Westfield Garden State Plaza anytime soon. But I think they did it because they got a much cheaper lease up at Paramus Park. I think that's why they did it. I actually walked by there 2 days ago. I didn't see too many customers inside, but I know Uniqlo is struggling as a whole too. They're actually closing a lot of locations. They're closing. I believe this weekend the Colorado one is closing, and then the one in Chicago at Miracle Mile on Michigan Avenue is closing the 22nd. Yeah, if I ever get to Pittsburgh, but that's not likely going to be anytime soon. They are most likely going to close the Grass Valley Kmart's, considering how many Kmart's closed in California. They'll probably close that one right around the time they close the one in like Hamilton, Montana. It's the real estate, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, because Kmart Grass Valley is the last one in that immediate area. I mean, the last one in the state of California. Man, the story for Kmart in California ends in Grass Valley. Crazy that it would be like that. Crazy it would be like that. Maybe they will put a Target in the area of Grass Valley because I don't see one like literally in the immediate area. They don't seem to have one in the immediate area. Yeah, Target might be in talks for that Kmart spot, especially since they're not in the immediate area. So Target might be buying that one as well. Makes sense. It expands their presence. Yeah, I know. I know. My favorite video to make, um, probably my trip reports. Those were fun. I haven't done one of those in 2 years because of COVID, unfortunately. Yeah, it was definitely the rent. It was definitely the rent at Westfield Garden State Plaza. Definitely the rent that closed that spot, or that closed that store in particular, which then they directed customers to the Wayne Town Center J.C. Penney and the J.C. Penney at Newport Center. Yeah, I haven't stepped foot in a J.C. Penney probably I have not stepped foot in a J.C. Penney probably since I went down to Quaker Bridge, and that was back when Lord and Taylor was liquidating. Yeah, I haven't really done any mall trips in a while because right now there's nothing major, at least in my immediate area, that's going out of business. I've gone to Cracker Barrel. I was actually there 2 weeks ago. It's funny you bring that up. I know their prices. I know. I wish it was closer. I really wish it was closer. For me, it's 45 minutes, unfortunately. But if it was like 20 minutes and I just wanted a good solid meal, that's exactly where I would go. But yeah, it's really good food. It really is. Especially, I guess it depends on what you particularly like. Like there's some people that go for their dinners, and there's you got people like me that absolutely love their breakfast. I mean, their mama's pancake breakfast with the eggs and the hash brown casserole, delicious. It is delicious food. It's both 2 great things, delicious food and food that's affordable, and that's important, especially for a restaurant like Cracker Barrel. So, huh, well, I'll go off soon anyway. Eddie Lampert rant? Not yet. Once Eddie Lampert is just an awful human being, milked on the real estate. I mean, look at what he did with the Triangle Town Center, sold it for 5.85 million, and we know that he pocketed 50% of that money. The other 50% probably went to operations of the operation joke of what Sears and Kmart is. Yeah. So he probably got 2,925,000 for himself. He got to pocket that, Eddie Lampert. And the other
The other part of that million probably went to the joke of an operations that Sears and Kmart are. But Eddie got the pocket. Eddie got to probably pocket about 50% of whatever was sold off the Triangle Town Center. Maybe that's why he keeps the Florida locations open. Who the hell knows at this point? I know, just one Kmart and 6 Sears in California. They definitely need to close more Sears stores in California. I agree. Hello, better boy. How are you? The Sears in Frederick, Maryland at the Francis Scott Key Mall. I don't know personally. That's the last Transform Co. owned property in the state of Maryland. Once that goes, no more Transform Co. properties in Maryland. The rent must be super, super, super cheap for them to keep that store open. Pizza Hut rent, I actually like Pizza Hut. Walmart, eh, I'm not a huge fan of that store, but it has things I need in life. Target, I haven't been to a Target in the longest time. They're not there's none, like, close by. Have you been the Century 3 Mall? No, I have not. I have not seen that video. What's today, Thursday? Tomorrow's Friday. Wow, this week surprisingly went quick. No, I've never heard of them. Oh, I agree. I agree about that with Target. Well, they said they're coming back, so we're still waiting to hear on that. But they might. I don't think so. Macy's Brunswick Square. The rent was probably super cheap. Yeah, that's what Walmart basically is for. So I can take these off now.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Someone was upstairs. I'm now in the green. Oh, I love Bright Sun Films. One of my favorite filmers. Anything Abandoned. I love, 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 love his productions, and highly recommend watching those videos to anybody. I mean, Shoppers World probably picked it because the rent was very, 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 very cheap. That's why they probably picked it. Not till next year. No, Macy's. So the rule with Macy's will only announce one round of stores, and it's right after Christmas. It's right after the New Year's. It's by like the fourth or fifth day of the new year. The Macy's will announce another round of closings. J.C. Penney, it depends on the situation. COVID really literally threw them a curveball, and they closed a lot of freaking stores. So closed for the storm. Yeah, I know, because there's not much retail in Canada. That's what makes him interesting. Like you would think he's from the United States, but he's not. But yeah, I mean his videos are just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I don't know if I've seen Clothes for the Storm. I probably should watch that. I might. Let me see. Maybe that's on. I'm gonna just do that right now. Yes. Let me see. Oh wow. Oh, okay then. Wow. I did not see that coming. Okay. Hamilton Mall Macy's has very little merchandise. Oh, Dan Bell. Oh, of course. Yeah, that Macy's in Hamilton Mall. It's literally a 3-level Macy's in the middle of absolutely nowhere. That's what I call that Macy's. Paramus is probably going to get a Shoppers World, honestly, because they've taken over that Century and one in Philadelphia. Shoppers World would be stupid not to have a Paramus presence. That would be an interesting choice, and the question is, are they going to keep the old elevators, or are they going to put new ones in? So, yeah, wow, I didn't realize it was here. All right, guys, I'm actually going to go. I know this is really rude of me. I'm actually going to go ahead and get off, and I do want to watch this documentary now. Thank you guys for watching Q&A live stream number 174, and that will be it. Have a good night.